Oh, Barry, I finished that manga series I was reading.
We're going live.
552 chapters.
You gonna go for it, bro?
PlayStation 5, don't know.
I'm I'm ready to go live now, man, if you want.
Right, we're live, boys. Baz here back with another video, and I'm joined by Gareth and Lee. And we just
Hello, Mr. Lee.
We've just finished watching the PlayStation 5 event there, and with some sort of mixed feelings on some of the things. So they've just announced prices, few games, but they haven't really give us much launch titles, bar previous games that are being brought forward, backwards compatible. What's your thoughts, Gareth, on general thoughts on the event?
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was the worst. PlayStation Plus Collections was quite interesting, but we probably need to look into a lot more to see exactly, is it just them games that they were showing? Like they were showing, like, you know,
they did show a fair few games, to be fair.
There was, yeah. Just depends if that's going to be like, you know, if you have a PlayStation 5 at launch or whatever, and you already have PlayStation Plus, is that just included into the subscription, or? Because if that's putting it in the subscription, then that'd be pretty cool. But I'm not sure if that's the case or not. I'm not too sure.
So if you've already pre-purchased them, the chances are you mightn't get them. It's only if you've got the PlayStation Plus subscription that you get them.
I don't. Yeah, probably need to look into it more to see. I think it's an interesting concept.
Yep, we might have to try and do a wee video on that. We'll look into that and see another video. What about you, Lee? Your general thoughts?
I only like 2 games on what I've seen so far, and the rest are boring or rubbish or something that should be re-released on the PS3. Some of the games, especially. And price-wise, I'm cheap enough for the digital. I was basically expecting around that price.
Why don't you go through a list of the games just, and then we'll sort of say where we like them or not, and then we'll talk about the price at the end and our predictions that we had from the previous video. Would that do?
Okay.
Sounds good.
So they started off with Final Fantasy 16: The Legacy of the Crystals, and that was a console exclusive, which is a big shock for Xbox gamers tonight, boys. That is not common to Xbox at all. I thought it was going to be time exclusive personally, and how wrong was I? But disappointed it's not coming to Xbox. But
personally, it doesn't matter to me because it's coming to the PC.
Yeah, but it looked goodly, you have to say.
Yes, it does look good. I am really interested in it.
A lot better than Final Fantasy 15. I have to say.
15, I played over 10 hours off it. I couldn't get into it.
It was very desolate and a bit boring, so it was, the 15. But
the monster was too far through in between.
Back to its Final Fantasy roots, I think. 15 was just not as good.
Mad, big monsters, big battles.
What did you think of that one, Gareth?
I thought it was great. I thought it definitely looked good. Now, I haven't personally played any of the Final Fantasy games, but I'm just surprised it isn't coming to Xbox all the same, to be honest.
It was a shock now, because with Final Fantasy does actually come to the Xbox now. It's kind of sad that it doesn't.
Sony must have forked
out. I feel sorry for the Microsoft console owners now.
Sony has to have forked out a lot of money to get that exclusive, so they've had. No, I think I'll enjoy that. I'll have to probably get a PlayStation 5 now to play that one. Or PC. But the second game they showed was Spider-Man Miles Morales. So it's a first party game and it's coming out holiday 2020. They haven't announced if it's coming for launch. But
I probably assume it will.
Probably will be. It's not my cup of tea, but it still looked okay. Like, it wasn't as if it was a bad game. It's just not for me, I think. You know.
I don't like the combat system on it. It's quite basic combat system. It's kind of remember the old style some of those superhero games goes, but didn't interest me.
But it's not going to be as long a game, I think, as the first Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4.
I kind of do miss the red and blue suit.
We'll have to see on that one. What do you think, Gareth? Would you play it?
It definitely did. Definitely looked good. So it did. I like the I definitely like the graphics into it. Like, I'm not sure if it is using ray tracing or not, but I definitely enjoyed it. I think it does definitely look good.
Mm-hmm. But don't forget, they're going to look better whenever they come out in the console, because these are still live streams that we have watched. You probably need to watch this back on full 4K or as high as possible, you know. The next one they showed was a wee bit surprising. I actually quite liked it. Was Harry Potter Legacy, but that's not coming out in 2021. And you were saying, Lee, you think it's based on not Harry Potter, but the whole. I haven't really watched much Harry Potter.
It's based on the Academy.
Right.
Hogwarts Academy, which actually sounds interesting. If you can create your own wizard or witch and play them and do your own thing, kind of dear. If it have choices in it, like can you be a good witch or a bad witch or whatever, that would be lethal.
Yeah.
Instead of just playing a similar crappy storyline where you can do this online. If they have choices in it, it would be interesting.
Yeah, when I was watching through that one for the Harry Potter, it looked good, but then seeing the dragon all come in, and that's sort of really, I don't know, it looked lethal, so it did.
I know, it does look lethal, I do. I hope does it come for the PC now?
Not sure.
That's my only question.
Fan, but I would give the game a go, maybe. You know.
I'm
Gareth,
looking forward to it.
What do you think?
Probably the same opinions of yourself. I'm not really a huge Harry Potter fan, but I would give the game a go.
It's intriguing and interesting.
Yeah, it's different, I think.
Yeah. Next game we played was Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I'm going to go to Gareth first on this occasion. So it's a holiday 2020 release, so it's probably going to be a launch title. I'm not personally a fan, but I think out of the three of us, Gareth, I think you're the one that's going to talk the most in this one.
I like what they have got going on with this code, to be honest. The only difference really is PS4 players, I think from tomorrow or Friday or something, will get access to play the multiplayer on their console.
Right.
Whether or not they have any, tailored DLC for PlayStation users.
They didn't announce anything.
They haven't announced anything. Whether or not they do anything down the road is another question.
Unless that's what they're getting is that multiplayer now, which Xbox is not getting. Maybe.
I don't know. You think that's what we don't know.
Yeah.
It will become the Xbox obviously as well, but I'm just trying to figure out differences between playing it on the PlayStation, versus playing it on the Xbox.
I think personally, I'd like to watch this video again at full 4K, and now that we've watched it and then took it in, maybe to just you see other stuff you've maybe missed. Just relax and enjoy it now, and don't know, we'll see. But I might do a wee follow-up video on that as well. Lee, you and me were like, it looks alright. It doesn't look next gen, to be honest with you. I think they could have done the PlayStation 4, not even the Pro model, but the PlayStation 4 no bother what they showed, unless there's just something that they haven't, showed that that they need next gen console for. Do you want to speak on it, Lee, or are you not that bothered? Lee has frozen again, Gareth, so will we give him a wee second to come on, or will we continue
on? Whatever you think yourself.
Do me a favour, send a wee message there, just say he's frozen, needs to just come out and come on again. I have just too much windows up in here at the minute. Just regarding why we're waiting on Lee, see if he comes back. Call of Duty, I probably play more single player rather than multiplayer, and I think there's probably going to be a big focus on multiplayer this time around. Going by what they're showing the multiplayer and all now at the minute.
Sorry about that, my thing froze.
You're grand.
Don't know what happened.
Not sure. We're talking about Call of Duty there, Lee. Is any words of wisdom you want to say? Because you and me were sort of in the same boat. What we're thinking.
Same game, different title, more multiplayer than single player. Gonna cost 70 odd quid, and expect you to swallow that and be happy.
No, it's not for me. I don't think at the minute it's not looking like it. But anyway, Any more thoughts, Gareth, or we head on to the next one?
Be interesting to see the new zombies they're talking about.
Maybe.
Variants of zombies.
If you want to
That's
see
the only
zombies,
thing.
why not just play Resident Evil?
That's the next one.
Leads us into the next one. So we've got Resident Evil 8 Village coming out in 2021. I think it looked pretty cool. Didn't look next gen. I don't know if that's maybe the video quality or what, but I think I would probably play it. Don't know if I'll buy it day one or not, but it looks interesting. Graphics wise,
Hey, it's a different kit.
Go on ahead.
It's a different kit on the storyline. It's not just being about this other elite force. It's just about this village. What's happening with it, the origins.
That's what I thought.
Still looks interesting now.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a go.
I might give it. I give it a try when it's on sale on Steam.
What about yourself, Gareth? What do you think?
I do like it. Probably agree with Lee in this one, to be honest. You know, if it does come to PC or not.
I'd say it probably will. It wasn't exclusive. It's coming to Xbox, so it'll come to PC as well, I would say. You know, but it could come to console then PC later on, maybe, or something. I don't know what I'm going to talk about this next one. So the next one they showed was Deathloop, and it's coming out Q2 2021, and it's exclusive as well. I sort of actually, to be honest with you, I'm going to have to let you in stock because I sort of drowned out watching this in a bit. They played 4 minutes of it, and it just was like, I just shut off for some reason.
I was not impressed.
No.
It kind of reminded me of a 1970s bad TV series or movie. It's just horrible. And the graphics, well, disappointment. I prefer to actually watch Borderlands, the first game of Borderlands, again.
No.
I actually even prefer to play it.
That just doesn't look interesting at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Unless they can surprise us and change it or something, or do something different.
But maybe the gameplay could be good, who knows, but until I hear actually reports of the games, they're just the trailer of it. Trailer wise, does not look interesting, but until I actually seen it being played and the gameplay of it, I'm not going to say any more bad about it until I actually seen it properly played.
Yeah, I'll agree with you in that one. So well, it doesn't look appealing at all, and graphically, it doesn't scream next gen to me. To be honest with you, you know, out of all we've seen so far, like, you know, there hasn't been too much that just says buy the PlayStation 5 now, just buy me for this game. There hasn't been anything, you know, that's coming out recent. The only one's Final Fantasy, but that's probably, what do we say, didn't even give a release date actually for it.
It's probably next summer or autumn.
I'd say it could be a couple of years away yet, to be honest with you, because most of them,
horrible.
Like they give 2021 or this year or next year, that one didn't get a release date at all.
So you're saying it could be like 2025?
I would say 2022 or 2023, you know, and around that time frame. If I had a guess.
What about you, Garth?
What do you think about that one? Deathloop?
I'd probably assume the same time frame as yourself, to be honest. Can't see it coming out next year, like, but
no,
you never know.
Yeah. What about Deathloop? What's your thoughts on it, just before we move on to the next one?
Looked okay. Wouldn't personally like, but I'm sure it will have its market.
Just think about the games we go through, because I'm going to ask you a wee question at the end, just so you know. The next one they showed was Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. So this one's going to be a digital launch title. So it's going to be no disc, so just digital only. Graphically, it isn't built for the next gen anyway, but they've just enhanced it. But it didn't really look that enhanced to me. It looked fine, but not. It's just another one of those games that's not going to, you know, entice me to buy a PlayStation 5, to be honest with you. What's your thoughts, boys?
It's probably the mindset that you're in at the moment, dude, to be honest, because I was in the same boat when the PS4 came out. Like, a lot of the games at the launch just didn't look appealing, but the games now, you know, they're so long, now for the PS4 look amazing. In my opinion, they look great.
But it's not next generation. Look, when PlayStation 4 came out and the Xbox One came out, I bought more games than Xbox One because the games did actually look better. You know what was on it, what I enjoyed. Like I didn't buy that many games for the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 at the start, should I say? But we'll have to see. We haven't got our full launch lineup either yet.
My thoughts on the Devil May Cry game is why launch it specifically for the PS5? It's just a PS4 game relaunch with more money added to it.
I want to make a comment. The lack of launch games for new games for the consoles. This is what I think they're having to do to get something to make up launch title, to make up a bunch of games. That's they're not going to have proper PlayStation 5 games at the start, so these are like filler games. To make that lineup a wee bit heavier. If you know.
You thought they would try harder by getting more launch games than this. At least an hour or two.
I think they're blaming the pandemic this year. This human malware.
They blame everything on the pandemic. It's just a joke.
Yeah. Will we move on to the next one?
Yep.
Ibs Odyssey was the next game they showed, and they didn't give any release date on it. Now, I've never played any of the previous ones, and it's fine, but it's not really something I'm interested in.
It was an odd-ball mix of graphics from really old gen to not U-gen, but like PS3 level.
Some was polished and some of the graphics was not.
Yeah, it was too oddball, and it just didn't appeal to me.
No. And I don't know what sort of game it is either, because it's not like, it shows like, as if you're like third person, sort of like there's characters.
It's something that kind of remind me of the old arcade games.
Aye, it's not like that. It's it's not like a 2D, but only in 3D, if you know what I mean, like a side scroll.
Yeah, that's something you're fine on the, PS1?
No. What are your thoughts, Gareth, before we move
on? Probably agree with you again. This one just doesn't, I don't know, like, why would you... it's just an enhanced version of like the PS4, like. I mean, it looks alright. Like, don't get me wrong, but if you already have one for the previous one, I'm not sure. As I say, I never played. Like, the same for yourself. I never played any previous one, so I can't really make much of a comment on it. But
yeah,
I'm sure there's people out there that will enjoy it.
Yeah. The next game they showed was Five Nights at Freddy's, and it was only like a wee trailer, so there's no gameplay. We know nothing about it. I don't really know what to say on it. There's no launch date.
There's nothing about it. You can't say there's nothing on it.
But at the minute, if I had to jump either yay or nay, I would probably go nay. Doesn't look interesting to me at all. What they showed.
I don't understand why they included it on this here video because it was only a wee teaser at best.
We'll come to teasers at the end, but anyway. Any thoughts, Gareth?
Not really for this one, no, if I'm being honest.
That's the problem. They didn't even show us a minute's worth of footage, so it was just like, what was it?
There's only...
Even a bit of gameplay would be nice.
Yeah.
Too early for it. It's not ready. It's nowhere near ready, But it's just one of those we'll just have to wait and see, I would say. So then we on to show us Demon's Souls. A lot of people, I think, had actually thought this was going to be a launch title, and it's not. No release date was given. So that looks it's going to be after 2021 to me, to be honest with you. Look grand. Looked a wee bit maybe not next generation. It wasn't. It looked a wee bit dull to me, but it still looked interesting. The boss fights, it'll be a hard game as well, But it could be interesting, But is it going to show? It doesn't. To me, it doesn't scream next gen either.
I agree with you there. It's not next gen. I can't remember really old gen.
Aye.
Some of the old games that was out in 2013. Some of the graphics, some of the texture, some of the details, even. The armor supposedly they're wearing was not that great. It was kind of generic.
If you think about that and you think about The Witcher 3, like, it's far more nicer game, and it's I don't know.
Even Skyrim, some of the armor they have on it, or the textures are better. Some of the textures, some of the game details itself remind me back from Dragon Dogma, one of the recent games I played and completed.
Yeah.
It was just that old.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah, I do agree with you. The boss fights does look lethal on it.
The dragon was pretty cool in that as well. Look, actually.
Aye, but it kind of just remind me of just really generic looking Dark Souls game.
It's just dull. It just didn't like pop or stand out, you know.
Yeah, I love. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
I just wish they show you some more unique features or armor or weapons of the game. Something that would make you want to buy it.
Customize it a bit, so if you
aye,
like loot drops and stuff a wee bit maybe.
Aye.
Not a lot.
Like say you kill a dragon, you get some crazy ass armor or sword. Something like that there.
Yeah. What do you think, Gareth?
I definitely think it looked good. Doesn't look obviously next gen to you. Look, it did look next gen to me in a way. You could probably still get away with it playing on a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
I probably can't tell the difference, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But you could definitely play it on a PS5, I'm sorry.
The only thing is,
obviously, but
it's still in development, so it's still a couple of years off by the looks of it. So there's still time. But then that's the style of the game, the way they've went for. It's like the previous. What that it is. So it's not really probably at this stage going to change much. It's just But then saying that, it's maybe more the feel of the way the game plays and all, and the responsiveness of it, rather than the visual side of it. Does that make sense? But we'll have to wait and see. Any other thoughts before we move on?
No,
I don't think so.
No, we'll have to watch this space again. Oh dear, next one was Fortnite. And I think I was just sleeping at this stage. I'm sorry, but it just does not interest me. Never played it. No intention of playing it. And it's a launch title.
I was just looking at my Note 9 that came out with Fortnite at launch 2 years ago. And that's a mobile phone. That was just a joke. They might well just... yeah. You might well just advertise a game like Bloons Tower Defense on it. It was just a joke. An insult for a PlayStation 5 launch event.
There's actually somebody in our chat, so there is. Yeah. No, not for me at all, boys. I don't think I'll be getting that one. Garth, any thoughts?
Don't really care much about Fortnite.
No. I think we'll just skip over this one. So the next thing I come to, they mentioned PlayStation Plus collection. And so from what we can gather, this is going to be, if you have PlayStation Plus subscription, the games there's a whole selection of games that they have included in it that you'll be able to play on launch. But one of the things we had sort of talked before we started this, well, if you've already bought them and you didn't have PlayStation Plus, will you still be able to use them, or do you need your PlayStation Plus to be able to use them games? Which is pretty interesting that there was a whole selection available that you could play from day one. Now, it wasn't like hundreds, but there was a good, what would you say, maybe 20 to 30 games at the most?
From what I'm gathering, yeah. But what I would really like to know is the games that they shown on the event. Is that the only games going to be available on the collection, or is it going to include a lot more which hasn't been announced?
I don't know.
My only opinion on it is, if you already own those games in the launch, can you actually still play them on PS5? If you own those games on the PS4, for instance, can you still play them on the PS5 since they got that Game Plus collection, or do you have to actually buy that too to play these games?
I I think
That's
you
what
might
we
have
don't
to
know.
have.
Like, there hasn't been enough information about it, I think. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
I think you have to have the subscription to be able to play the games, to be honest with you.
Probably. I don't know if it's going to be an additional like charge or anything for it, or if it's just going to be like if you just have PlayStation Plus and little games that you can play from day one. I assume that's going to be remastered for. I don't know.
I think it's a way to get you to, for people who haven't got PlayStation Plus, to buy into their subscription model. It's like an extra incentive.
Don't know.
It's like Microsoft adding Project X Cloud, or Cloud Gaming as it's called now, into their subscription. They're adding these extra things in, to make it look better. Give you an incentive to upgrade, and for people who already have it. I don't know if it's going to be the same price as current PlayStation Plus, or if this is going to be like a different thing. They need to specify a bit more, So, like myself, who's got PlayStation Plus, am I going to get this free, or do I have to go to the next tier?
See, that's what we don't know. You see, we're still, it's still probably early days for that, but hopefully Lou will introduce more information, towards launch about more about the PlayStation Plus collections. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think that'll be interesting for me, because the other thing, it's interesting but not at the same time, is, are they going to be enhanced, or are they just going to be the same? Is there going to be anything in the PlayStation 5 that will enhance these games to make you want to play, if you've already played them, to play over? Are they just going to look the same? They might run and load faster, but is the graphics going to be enhanced any? I don't know. They haven't said anything.
We don't know. You say,
the problem is they've been very vague.
That's the problem. But hopefully, Lou will get more information towards the time. But as you said yourself, like, they have been very vague about it. But I think the key information tonight was really to find out the price and when it's actually going to be launched, and just what sort of games you're going to be expecting from the get-go. So.
Well, the next thing was, then they did announce the prices and launch date, but we still didn't get a pre-order date. So the November 12th, the US, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea is getting, and then on November 19th, the rest of the world is getting, so that'll include us in the UK as well. Was a wee bit shocked at that. I thought we would include it in the 12th of November one. But anyway, that's a different story. Price-wise, I'm trying to think who predicted what now. I know I predicted the disc version at $449.99, but I thought it wouldn't be as cheap for the digital edition. I thought it was going to be $399. So I got. I think I predicted
the disc or the digital version be in between $250 and $300. I think $350. Can't remember.
Hi, but you took a big price group there. I predicted was $449 for the digital and $499 for the actual disc drive.
There was a big, brave difference, £90 of difference, pounds, $100 difference, US dollars. I think a lot of people have been predicting around that money anyway, so they weren't far wrong. And so, PlayStation 5 and Series X are the same price. The digital edition is $100 cheaper, so it's $399 versus £360. So that's not a big jump from if you're buying a Series S at $249 or $300. So you're only paying an extra £250, £110 extra to get the full spec, digital version of PlayStation 5. Does that make sense to you? That's what I'm saying there.
You're getting a lot more for a lot.
You're getting double the hard drive space. You're going from 1440p at 120 frames per second up to 4K at 120 frames per second. You're not getting a cut down GPU. Your CPU is similar, to be honest with you. You know, most of the specs, you know, that's the main difference really, is the hard drive and the cut down GPU.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're going £250 or $300 for an extra £90 or $100, do you make the jump? You know, for something with more power?
It depends what games you have.
A lot of people are going to be thinking about. You know, that's what people are going to be. That's going to be in the heads of a lot of people, to be honest.
It's hard to know. I still need to process this myself, but we'll maybe have maybe a day or two later we'll have a thought about it and maybe do a wee quick video on it or something. But good prices, people predict them right. Yin's probably got better near prices than me, was it? Lee, Gareth, I think you had the best nearest prices, was it, out of the three of us?
I was the worst.
I think I was pretty close, yeah.
So you get 2 points, I get a point, and they get nothing. Aye, so that's it. So we've got all we need now. Only two things: launch games lineup and pre-order date, and then we're good to go. I don't understand why they didn't launch the pre-order date tonight, unless they're going to do it within the next couple of days. Because there's rumored. Remember,
I would say the pre-order. I would probably assume the pre-order be soon, like.
Because remember, there's a rumor that there's going to be another event this week at the end of the week or something. So I wonder where they're going to do that. To maybe they talked about launch games. You know, will they then do the pre-order date at the end of it? Which is silly in the 1 week, like. I would have thought if they just done, just whole thing tonight, got it done. I don't know.
Don't know what to think.
Boys, it's getting to that time. I think maybe that'll do us for the night. But we could maybe do a wee follow-up video if we get a bit more sleep on it. Is that what they say?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting generation. Much I'll say that. If any.
It is indeed. Here, 2020. It might have been the year of pandemic, but it's the year of all this new technology is coming out. 2 new consoles, new graphics
It'll just be good to see. Exactly.
CPUs. Unreal.
It'll just be good to see them actually in people's houses and actually getting to actually use them and utilize the, get the true potential out of them,
But it's going to be a year or two.
I'm just going to wait till 2021 until I see better games trailers.
Yeah. We'll have to watch this space, boys. Pre-ordered it. We'll have to see when it comes, but I'll be down next Tuesday morning to get my Series X pre-ordered for sure. But here we'll
enjoy yourself in line.
Oh, I'll have to wait in line. So 8 o'clock in the morning, you come down to wait with me.
Nah, I'd be in my bed sleeping.
Right, boys, we'll leave it there. So we're just going to end the stream here in a wee second. So thanks for whoever joined us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all soon in the next video.
All right.